Welcome back to The Healthline, Issues That Shape Our Well-Being. I'm your host, Dr. Andrea Ault-Brutus. In The Healthline, we provide engaging and informative content on the factors that shape our health and well-being, along with innovative insights that help us gain a better understanding of our ever-evolving, complex healthcare system. In today's special episode, we are welcoming several guests to discuss an exciting program we have here at Hofstra University, the HealthWorks Co-op program. The HealthWorks Co-op program is more than just an internship. It's a paid, hands-on opportunity for students to work with leading healthcare and community organizations. Alongside interactive training that prepares them for their placements, students build professional skills, deepen their knowledge, and learn directly from mentors who are making a real difference in the field. We have a full lineup of guests, and we're going to start with Dr. Edward Cofield, Co-op Faculty Co-Lead, and Natasha Rodriguez, Co-op Program Manager. Welcome, Edward and Natasha, to the Healthline.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
So we'll start with Edward. You are the faculty lead of this exciting program. Can you tell us more about the HealthWorks Co-op program and what inspired the School of Health Sciences to create it?
Of course. Thank you, Andrea, very much. I'm the co-lead as well with my colleague, Dr. Karine Karyaku, and the two of us and a team from the School of Health Sciences really thought that a HealthWorks Co-op would be a great program for us. It's an awesome program where Hofstra University students are embedded with health and healthcare organizations for an entire semester. And so they get that experience as an employee or as an apprentice as they go through. And with HealthWorks, not only do students get to engage in practical experiences at the organization, which we feel that allows them to further enhance the skills they learned on Hofstra's campus, but they're also paid to complete their internship, or their apprenticeship. And so it's a whole lot more than an internship, which I think we'll talk about in a little bit, but it's a paid full-time job that they get when they try to hone those skills. The inspiration for HealthWorks arose from our constant push here at Hofstra that we want our students to be prepared for the workforce. That's our goal and for their future career pathways. So in HealthWorks, students get to practice the skills they learn in the classroom, but in a real environment. And so we're providing them that opportunity to not only hone their skills at a healthcare organization, but to develop other skills that they don't learn in the classroom. How do we engage in terms of in office politics, or how do we actually navigate that office environment? And so it's really giving students that wraparound idea of what it's like to be a contributing member of a workforce. And so we're excited about that. A second component to HealthWorks is it's a very collaborative effort between healthcare organizations in the community as well as Hofstra University. And so we work with healthcare organizations on this project. By doing this, we're able to make sure here at Hofstra University that the students going through our programs are ready to work in our community based on what our community needs are. That's a really beneficial thing from an educational perspective because we get to learn from our employee partners, wow, this is really what we need our students to be doing. This is where students do a great job. How can we actually help students contribute more in the workforce as we go along? And so that practical training that we're giving students, we're very excited about it. And the idea, of course, is that students are going to be able to contribute on day one when they go into the workforce.
Terrific. And it sounds like, to use some terminology from the business world, like just in time, it's like, they're getting that just in time training to address the community needs that they're facing right now. And you mentioned earlier that it is different from an internship, and you explained some components as to why it's different. So can you elaborate more as to how it differs from an internship? I'm guessing the interactive training component definitely is one component that makes it different from an internship.
The training component is different, and it is, as you may be aware, in the School of Health Sciences, we offer ample opportunities for students to engage in internships. We believe in that practical applied learning in SHS. And the internship the students get, so to say, thinking about getting into the water, they're dipping their toes into that professional experience as they go along. Whereas with the co-op, it's 100% immersion in the water, to where the students are not just seeing, oh, this is how I can practice this skill in this department for a little bit and then I change departments, or this is just one skill. The students for the HealthWorks Co-op are 35 hours a week throughout that organization. They get to observe leadership, organization, clinical trainings, all of these types of items and more 35 hours a week. So they know the weekly organization, the daily organization, the monthly organization. So being embedded in there, internships are powerful. And we're taking that to the thousandth power in terms of actually really allowing students to understand how it actually the workplace involves and how we're going to actually succeed in the workplace.
Terrific. And it does sound like a very immersive program for them to be there 35 hours a week. And I guess they get credits for that too, right?
There's multiple components of the program.
Okay.
And so we go almost over an entire year.
Mm-hmm.
And for parts, there's some part of the program where they do get credits, and
Yeah.
the other part, they're getting paid for their work experience as well.
Sounds good. And can you go more in detail into the training component?
I guess this is a really good follow-up question as well, right? Because it goes into how the co-op program does differ again. The students are with us for almost an entire year. And so we have a pre-semester program for them, the semester when they're actually in their co-op experience, and then a post-semester program for them as well. Again, going back to the community and wanted to make sure that we are responding to what the community needs and that our students are successful in the community. That pre-co-op training is making sure that when the students walk in on the first day of their co-op experience, that they can contribute. And so the multidisciplinary nature of the program in of itself starts to really come out when we think about this. Our pre-co-op training consists of people from multiple disciplines, making sure the students are ready to go. And also, of course, the students from multiple disciplines as well. But they go through this pre-training, whether it's how do we do an Excel spreadsheet to getting certified in CPR, just to really make sure that the students are prepared to do that. After they've gone through the pre-co-op training, then they do their experience, and we don't stop there. During the co-op experience, they are mentored by faculty members here on Hofstra's campus, and we have reflection sessions. We have additional professional development sessions with them. We have one-on-ones to where we really want to make sure that we understand what's going on for the student, but also it allows us to evaluate the program, right? Oh, wow, this is a challenge that a student encountered. How do we help overcome that, and how do we better prepare students in the future to make sure that they're successful when they go in? The last part is that the last semester of the co-op program, and that's going to be that they've completed their internship, they've completed their co-op experience, and now they're coming back and they're reflecting with us. From a program perspective, from an education perspective, from making sure that Hofstra students are prepared for the workforce perspective is a very important item. Because during this time, we work with the employers and the students who have completed the co-op experience to evaluate what did the student succeed in? What did the student feel that they were competent in? What did the employer say that we should do more of? And that allows us to come back and say, okay, let's look at our curriculum. How can we better serve the needs of our community? And by doing that, we're better positioning our students to contribute in the workforce, to get those jobs. And so it's a very wraparound program, and we're very excited about the way that it's structured.
Terrific. I want to bring Natasha into the conversation. So Natasha, as the program manager of this program, you work directly with the employers and the students. What have you observed about the types of opportunities that excite employers the most and the kinds of experiences students are most eager to pursue in this program?
I know the employers are super excited as the program, as a whole. They get the help that they need on all these projects. I know a lot of companies, they have so much work that goes on that obviously people cannot get to sometimes. That's just how usually companies run. So now that they have these fresh students to come in with these new ideas and this energy to bring to their team, it helps them fix the things that they didn't get time to fix. And I think students in return, they get this hands-on experience that they're looking for with these professionals. It helps them build skills that employers love to see outside their academic careers that they don't get usually, that we can teach.
Okay, great. I know the program just launched this fall. Can you, Natasha, tell us about the students at the employer partners in this inaugural cohort? So tell us more about these types of students we have in this cohort.
Our students are amazing. These are bright students. They're the same ones that have conducted research. They've presented at conferences. They've collaborated with other professionals to gain these valuable experiences prior to even joining our program. They bring the strong academic background, and they're so eager to learn. Before we even had them go out into the clinical settings, they were just so excited about the co-op. There's a video on it as well that they're just so happy to learn about these new experiences that they can't get. And it just helps them prepare for the real world that they're going to gain and have the upper hand when they're graduating.
And I understand that there is a competitive application process for students who are interested in being in the acronym would be HUHW Co-op, Hofstra University HealthWorks Co-op. What are the eligibility criteria for students and how do they apply?
Yeah, so most of our employer partners are looking for juniors and seniors, but we do encourage everyone to still come apply, come by, ask questions. It's great to start earlier than later just so we can build this in and get you trained and set up to go out into the real world and do these professions. Again, a lot of our students also possess strong academic performance. We can also check GPAs. We can go through all those checklists with you and your advisors. Students also do have to complete a resume and cover letter. That's just some of the things we look for when assessing for who's eligible for the program.
This sounds like an amazing opportunity for the students. And I think there's one other component that we didn't talk about earlier, Edward, and that was the community component and how you're building community with this. You kind of touched on it earlier. Do you mind just elaborating on that?
A fascinating thing about healthcare, which is, I guess, a discussion for another podcast, would be the idea that we spend roughly $5 trillion a year on healthcare in this country. That money goes everywhere, right? So almost 1 out of every $5, 18% of what we do in terms of our income goes towards healthcare. And that can involve everyone. And so from an art major, we're thinking about placing an art major into a nursing home to help with recreation, to a nurse, right? I mean, across the fields, it can be there in healthcare. And that's where we started. This idea that health works can be open to every major on Hofstra University's campus. And so in terms of developing our community, we start there with a multidisciplinary community of students where we're all working together, as well as faculty and researchers, to where we're building this team of researchers, we're building this team of students to go out there and to really contribute to the healthcare field. And we're excited about that. But I mean, one of the many great things about Hofstra University is that our community does not stop at the campus borders. You know, our community is where we live, it's where we reside, and it's everybody that we interact with. And so for HealthWorks, a purpose of our program is to be in the community and be part of the community. We do this not only with our employer partners, but we're creating community among our employer partners. Mm-hmm. We're connecting our employer partners with researchers here on campus, with students here on campus outside of the co-op to really to start to build this community. An example of this was in our pilot that we've been talking about. We had a community dinner where we brought everyone together, all the students, a lot of the faculty who were involved in all the training, and our employee partners together to say this is our kickoff event, so to say. And it's only going to continue. During the co-op experience this semester, we're bringing in Hofstra alums, and they're going to mentor students in terms of the next stage in their career development. And then after that, at the end of the year, we're also going to have a very large networking event where we bring everyone together to assess the program, but also for the students to talk about their experiences as well. Every way creating these opportunities to bring people together, because when we do that, we can really start to make a difference in healthcare.
I want to turn our attention to the employers in the program. And so Shirley, Khadijah, and Belinda, welcome to the Healthline. Just to introduce all of you to our audience, Shirley Demosthenes Atkinson is the CEO of CABS Health Network, a School of Health Sciences Advisory Board member, and holds a Master's of Administration from Hofstra University. Belinda Freeman is a project manager, and Khadijah Harmous is a program manager at CABS Health Network, playing a vital role in the success of numerous population and community health initiatives for CABS. CABS is also a partner of the School of Health Sciences, being a part of the Master's of Health Administration program and the age-friendly initiatives on campus. So Shirley, Khadijah, and Belinda, I welcome all of you to the Healthline. So Shirley, we'll start with you first. Why is it important for CABS Health Network to participate in the HealthWorks co-op program, and what benefits do you hope to see for your organization from this first year in the program?
Participation in the HealthWorks co-op program aligns perfectly with CABS Health Network's mission to advance health equity and workforce development. We saw this as an opportunity to invest in the next generation of public health professionals while also enhancing our organizational capacity. We also saw that through this partnership, students receive rigorous academic preparation combined with hands-on paid experience in community health, which is a model that mirrors our own commitment to evidence-based practice and continuous learning. By embedding Hofstra's university students into our own care management department, we are strengthening our ability to document and measure our impact through the creation of our first comprehensive impact report. So we're excited about that. And we also anticipate that this collaboration will not only deepen the students' understanding of real world service delivery, but will also provide CABs with fresh perspectives, data driven insights, and innovative approaches that enhance our overall performance and community outcomes.
So it sounds like it's a win-win both for the students and for CAPS, which is great.
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
So what goals or outcomes are you most excited about as the program gets underway?
We are most excited about the dual benefit of this collaboration, the professional growth that we see of the students, and the advancement of our organizational learning. The students are conducting social needs screenings and navigation under our social care network program, which is allowing them to experience firsthand how community based interventions improve measurable health outcomes. Very direct, where they actually can see that process through their eyes with our staff going through this process. So their work will culminate in a formal impact report and presentation to our entire organization, including the board, by the end of their semester with us. And that will be in December 2025. This impact report eventually will help us better articulate the effectiveness of our programs and identify areas for continued improvement. And we will be able to share our impact with shareholders and the community at large. So at CABS, each one of our staff contributes to make a difference. This capstone project cements the HealthWorks co-op students into CAB's rich history. So we look forward to seeing how their insights, creativity, and data analysis will inform our strategic planning, highlight the real world value of our services, and ultimately strengthen our continuum of care from home care to community health navigation.
That sounds like it's going to be a wonderful and educational and, as you said, impactful
Yes.
opportunity for our students. So I'm kind of jealous of what they're going to be able to do for you guys.
You know what? I was thinking about that myself because I said, I wish this program was available when I was pursuing my undergrad studies. So, yes, I am jealous.
Yes, you and me both. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Shirley. So I'm going to turn to Khadijah right now. Khadijah, so I understand you work directly with the students. Can you share with our audience how you are supporting the students who have been placed with CABS for their co-op experience, and what does your role look like in making the program run smoothly for the organization?
As the supervisor for our co-op students at CABS, my role focuses on helping them bridge what they have learned in the classroom with the reality of working in a professional environment. From the moment they joined, I have worked to provide structure, clarity, and consistency so they understand not only what they are doing, but why it matters within the larger mission of CABS. Their main project, as was shared, is the CABS Impact Report, which is a major initiative that highlights the data, stories, and outcome reflecting CABS impact in the community. Early on, we asked the students to present why CABS needs an impact report. Their first presentation was fine. It missed a few key pieces like measurable goals, connection to our mission, and clarity in how the report would be used. After we provide them feedback and had a discussion about purpose and structure, the students came back with a completely new version, and it was excellent, excellent. They made the presentation engaging, mission-driven, and it really reflected who we are as an organization. It was one of those proud moments where you could see how quickly they learn, how open they were to feedback, and how much they wanted to get it right. So throughout this process, my focus as a supervisor is really to help our co-op students understand expectation, manage their time, and approach their work with professionalism and accountability. The Impact Report project will really show them what it means to collaborate across teams, departments, and balance creativity with structure, just like in a really real workplace.
And it sounds like that our students were really open to that feedback and they incorporated that feedback and in turn delivered an exceptional deliverable to the organization. So it's really good to hear that
Absolutely, for sure.
they were open to learning. What early observations have you made about the students who are placed at CABS?
So for day one, we anticipated that the students may face some challenges adjusting to a structured professional setting, particularly around understanding workplace expectations, policies, and the balance between personal and work priorities. I can give you an example, like the students asked early on if they could adjust their work schedule to start around 7 a.m. and leave by 3 p.m. for personal reasons. So we use that moment as a teaching opportunity to explain how most professional settings operate within standard hours. In our case here at CABS, it's 9 to 5 p.m. to maintain consistency and teamwork and also supervision. Once they understood the reasoning behind it, they adapted. It was a simple, but also it's important lesson about professionalism and the balance between individual flexibility and organizational needs. Over time, I have seen real growth in how the students communicate, manage their time, and take responsibility for their work. They are becoming more confident, more organized, and more aware of what it takes to be part of professional team. Right now, they are in process of preparing and gathering information for CAP's impact report. And next, they will be presenting their progress to our manager. And after that, they will move on to conduct interviews with department heads and other CAP staff as part of their data collection. I truly can't wait to see how their final presentation comes together, watching their journey and seeing how much they have grown in such a short time here at CABS and how they are incredibly, rewarding and being here. So that's amazing.
Belinda, same question for you. What early observations have you made about the students who are placed at CABS?
I'm happy to share my answer to that question because I did have some very early interactions with the students before they even started at CABS. So one of my observations was how curious, engaged, and eager they were to learn what their roles were going to be at the organization because they applied to be part of the co-op, but they didn't apply for a specific role. Most of the time when folks are entering the workforce, they go and they see a job and they're like, I can do that job. But the students, they were very brave to just say, I want to be part of this and I want to join the workforce. And they were unsure how that would look, but they were super, super curious and engaged to find out how they could make their own mark on the organization as an employee. And so once they started to receive their daily assignments and really discovering and exploring how to execute their roles effectively, you could also see that excitement as well in them. So to set them up for success, something that we did was we developed customized job descriptions for their roles. And then we also created like a syllabus-style roadmap that outlined their assignments, their expectations, and the milestones that they were going to have throughout the semester and throughout their employment, which is for, one whole semester with us. That kind of structure gave them clarity, but it also mirrored like an academic framework, which made them a bit more comfortable bridging the classroom experience and the realities of the workplace together.
That sounds like a great way to structure them and to bridge them from academia to professional work environments. So that was a great idea. Belinda, are there any lessons learned so far that you think will shape how the program evolves in the future?
There are several lessons and takeaways around the entire sort of circle of care of this co-op program. You have the students, I'm sure they have their takeaway university level, but from an employer perspective, we have to all remember that this is a workforce readiness program. So as the employer, you also have to be ready for the students and for a program like this. What does that look like? Understanding that this is their first exposure most of the time to a traditional 9 to 5. We have a responsibility to get them ready. So balancing the professional expectation with, their learning needs, we have to ensure that they go through the same onboarding process that all of our employees do, through the HR, all of the training that our employees are required to go through. Have the students go through that. Let them see what it's like to actually join a workforce and an organization and a team. It helps them understand the organization's culture, their operations from the very start. And then it's very important to do something that we thought was important. Provide them a clear job description, provide them regular feedback. As Khadijah mentioned, the feedback is something that helped them improve the work that they were doing. And as a student, you're really looking forward to getting feedback because you want to get the highest grade. That's how they're looking at it still. Even though they're full-time employees, they're looking at how to achieve the highest grade with what they're doing. So it's important to have very defined project deliverables, a project that can be completed by the end of their term. They want to be able to say, we walked away learning this and giving this. So those are some of the key, I think, lessons as an employer that we've learned. Students really thrive on structure, mentorship, and measurable progress once we're able to share with them and be intentional about their readiness in the workplace. And I think it really supports their growth as a student and as a future public health and community health advocate.
That is great. I just want to say, just on behalf of the School of Health Sciences, to all of you, just thank you for investing in our students and helping to prepare them for the real world, ever evolving and changing healthcare workforce. This experience that our students are having with CABS, with your organization, just going to put them miles ahead in terms of other people who they'll be competing with for the jobs in healthcare in the future. And thank you for sharing the experience you're having with the students in the HealthWorks co-op program. So thank you, Shirley, Belinda, Khadijah, for all the work that you're doing and for the work that you do for the community as well.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Hofstra, and thank you to the brave students as well that signed up for this pilot program. We wish them all the best, all of the students that are placed with other employers, and we're looking forward to the next semester.
I would now like to invite two of the co-op students to this conversation. We have Matthew Bardu, the senior whose major is in exercise physiology, and we have George Gilbert, who is also a senior, also majoring in exercise physiology. So Matthew and George, I welcome you both to the Healthline. So Matthew, I'll start with you. Can you tell us a little about yourself and the organization where you've been placed?
My name is Matthew Bardu. As you know, I'm a senior exercise physiology major with hopes of attending physician assistant school after graduation, and I was placed at the Health and Welfare Council of Long Island, specifically the HEALY team, which stands for the Health Empowerment Alliance of Long Island. The HEALY team is a social care network that connects healthcare providers to community organizations to support people's social needs, and whether that's food-related resources, housing, transportation, and many other resources that we offer. So it's really nice there.
Great. So can you tell us more about your experience? How has it been for you so far?
My experience has been a really good time. All the staff at Healy is really warm and welcoming, and that's something that makes you want to get up and go to work each day. So very, very nice. And even though I'm an intern, they're involved me in important meetings and ask me about my input. So it's nice to know that my opinion's like being validated. So it's nice.
So can you describe one meeting that you
Yes.
liked?
So we have a weekly productivity meeting, and they're kind of shaping how the company's going to move after we're under 1199 waiver, and that's kind of given by the government so we're given X amount of years to kind of show that we're doing proper work and that we should be getting funded, and they're looking at ways to kind of sustain in the event that we don't get more funding, and then they kind of have me look at more ideas and give my outside perspective on what we could do going forward. So it's really nice.
That's great that they're asking you for your perspective on things. That's amazing. So what aspects of the program have you found to be most beneficial for you?
Personally, for me, the amount of resources and preparation that the staff has given us to thrive at our co-op sites. During the summer, we took a long time going through trainings and a lot of meetings and kind of to ensure that we were ready to really put in the work and do well in our sites. So I'm really grateful for that.
And I understand you also work at another job, which is amazing that, you guys are just doing so much. How do you manage balancing your classes, work responsibilities, and the commitments of the co-op program?
It gets a little crazy, I'm not going to lie. I'm captain of club soccer here at Hofstra, and I spend the majority of my days on the move. I love being busy. It definitely made me sharpen my time management skills. Yeah, it definitely helped me sharpen my time management skills and kind of just make sure that I'm on top of everything. So it's good. It's not too bad.
Great. So looking ahead, what are you most excited about as a participant in this program?
I'm excited to know about the future of the program. As you know, we're the inaugural class, and we're helping to lay the foundation for future students, so make sure that they can thrive and get the most out of the experience here. And knowing that we'll be there to offer guidance and support because we'll be going through their shoes. So that's definitely a nice feeling.
Great, great. So thank you so much, Matthew. Let's turn our attention to George. So George, same questions for you. Can you tell us a little about yourself and the organization you've been placed with?
I'm George Gilbert. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm a senior. As she said, I'm an exercise physiology major. And I'm going into physical therapy school after graduation. And right now I'm working at Community Care RX, which is a long-term pharmacy. And we help individuals that are relatively on the older side, giving them just any medications they need. Pretty much we work from 8 to 10 most of the days, and we're pretty much open a while. And we just give drugs to older individuals pretty much. Yeah.
Great. How has the experience been for you so far in the program?
As far as the co-op, I've really liked, talking to guys like Matt. Natasha's been really good, and everybody in our co-op just really felt like a family getting through this first co-op program. As far as my site, I've really liked it, really getting to meet individuals that are either older than me or slightly younger than me and just seeing how healthcare really works on like the inside. So that's been great.
And what aspects of the program have you found to be most beneficial for you and your growth?
As far as the co-op program and the individuals in it, really just getting to know everybody that I've gone to school with for almost 4 years and seeing them almost weekly and getting to know like just them, and then also the professional development that they've put into us before going to the actual sites. Like I think we met once or twice a week, just really talking to each other and just understanding how to go about our actual jobs, like professional wise. And then as far as the actual site, really getting to understand how to work on your toes each and every day, because no day's like the same within the pharmacy. Something can go either really, really good or really, really bad, or something can come up and you just got to be able to work on your toes. So I'd probably say that.
So can you give us an example of one of those days?
This last Tuesday, we had like a lot of scripts. So my job personally, I do data entry, or I'm a runner. So on the data entry side, we pretty much fill the scripts. We put in people's names, what prescription they need, what drug, the date it's supposed to be filled, XYZ, like the stuff you really see that's written on the label. And so when we get a lot of those, our phones are ringing, and then it's just, you're just moving left and right, moving your hands. And so last Tuesday was really, really crazy. We were getting a bunch of scripts.
So I understand also, similar to Matt, you're really busy. So you play Division 1A lacrosse for Hofstra. So how do you manage balancing your classes, team responsibilities, and the commitments of the co-op program?
So I think the discipline of being a Division I athlete has definitely helped me with this time management part. As far as for the co-op on my site, they've been really, really flexible as to my schedule personally. My days usually consist of waking up 6 a.m., going to lacrosse or lift, and then I either have class or I go to the co-op. And so it's really been good for me to organize my weeks starting like on Sundays and then planning that out. But throughout the program, it's been really beneficial that they've adapted to me personally so that I can work when I'm able to.
So looking ahead for you, what are you most excited about as a participant in this program?
Kind of similar to what Matt said. It's exciting being the first group that's in this and kind of being like the guinea pigs and like filling all the kinks and stuff out. And so I'm just glad that I get to be an example of who's coming next. And that's pretty exciting for me, so I can kind of like guide people and help them.
Before we wrap up today's conversation, I just want to bring back Edward and Natasha. Edward, this appears to be an amazing opportunity for both our students and the employee partners who are involved in this program. How do you see the co-op program evolving over the next few years? What is on the horizons for the co-op program?
We're excited. I mean, we appreciate the opportunity for allowing us to talk about the program here today. And moving forward, it's the same goal. I mean, our goal is to ensure that we continue to develop outstanding, applied, immersive opportunities for students to develop those skills that they need to succeed in the workforce. But this is our foundation, and acknowledging the interdisciplinary nature of health and healthcare, we are going to continue to expand the program. In the fall semester, we're moving beyond the walls of the School of Health Sciences and moving into the Honors College, which we're very excited about. In the summer of this year, we're expanding the program to the School of Nursing and Physician Assistants, and we're going to continue to build. The idea is to build that community that we talked about earlier, to bring everyone together and to create these opportunities where everyone benefits, from community members to Hofstra students and our research as well here at Hofstra. So we're really excited about moving forward.
Great. And Natasha, what are you most excited about to see happen over the next year as the co-op program continues to grow?
Kind of like what Dr. Kofi was saying, these new opportunities for students, it's going to be amazing to watch them grow both personally and professionally. On the employer side, I'm excited to about creating these new connections, these new partnerships, and helping the community where they need it most.
And can you share when applications will be open for the next cohort of students?
Yeah, so we are currently taking applications right now.
This is truly exciting, Edward and Natasha. For students and organizations who want to learn more about the co-op program, what's the best way for them to get more information?
Yeah, so we do have a website up that has all my information. My email is going to be under my name, Natasha Rodriguez. You can reach out to me and I can help you with all the other stuff that you have questions on.
And Edward, would you like to say any parting words before we wrap up today's episode?
Just thank you. I mean, we're really excited about this. It's a great program for us as well here at Hofstra because we want everyone to succeed. And we think this is a really good way to make sure that our students have the skills needed to be contributing members of society. So we're really excited about it.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much to Edward and Natasha and to our CAB partners and the students who are a part of this wonderful program. So that wraps up another episode of The Healthline, Issues That Shape Our Well-Being. I would like to thank our studio engineer, John Mullen, and I would like to thank the WRHU Radio Hofstra family for their help with the production of this podcast. Lastly, I would like to thank Hofstra School of Health Sciences for sponsoring this podcast. I am Dr. Andrea Ault-Brutus, and thank you for listening. Have a great day.